Yes, my presentation was about the introduction of biosimilar trastuzumab into clinical practice at the Christie Hospital. This was the first biosimilar that we had put into general use. So we wanted to make sure that we had a process that was available to use as a template for further introductions. So we had a lot of multidisciplinary meetings to talk through the process prior to getting started. We involved clinicians, nurses, pharmacists and the hospital trust management team as well. So we got everyone on board in order to make sure that there were no surprises in what we were doing, basically. So we were keen to ensure that we had a smooth process to introduce the biosimilar. But because of making sure that all patients were able to receive the same drug, we ensured that we went for it in one big bang, basically, so that all patients were transferred at the same time, and we moved from the originator product through to the biosimilar. Using a process that involved the pharmacy team to re-prescribe all of the treatments that were there for the patients to make sure that the process was smooth. We also wanted to evaluate how this had happened, so we sent out questionnaires to the medical and the nursing staff and also to the patients. And we were encouraged by the responses that came through. We had a relatively low response rate in the 30%. However, we felt that as this was an unsolicited questionnaire, it probably matched the expectation. Most of the hospital staff involved felt that the training that they'd received supported them to then be able to speak about the biosimilar to both patients and their colleagues. They did feel that we had probably done the training too close to the introduction, so in the future we would start the process far sooner in advance. But they did feel that they were supported in making sure that everyone understood why we were transferring across to the biosimilar. The patients felt that the information they received was possibly a little bit too advanced for them to properly understand. And we also felt when we looked at the feedback that they potentially weren't as interested in the fact that it was a biosimilar. They were more interested in the treatment that they were receiving to treat their cancers. And again, in the future, if we were to repeat this, we would probably look at how we put the information together and try to put it in a way that was more understandable to our patients. So we're keen that in the future, that when we introduce more biosimilars, we follow the process, but we learn from the way that we did it for the biosimilar trastuzumab. I mean, the main advantage is the cost differential that we get, and so we hope that we can then reinvest the money saved into the services either at the hospital or across the local health economy.